All right, I am going on vacation, and so it is time to leave. But I'm not sure that I can actually afford a vacation. In fact, when I get over to Europe, which this is all made up because I can't afford to go to Europe, but when I get over to Europe, the uh, the place that I'm planning on staying at is going to be 230 euros. But I have American dollars. And in fact, I'm going to be traveling into Ontario to travel over to Europe to take the plane. Um, but I'm not even sure if I can afford lunch because all I've got is $19, but they're American dollars. Um, so today, what we're going to be talking about is the mathematics involved in determining how much money in American dollars, how much that would turn into if we turn it into a different currency. So, for instance, euros, or if we turn it into francs, or if we turn it into pesos, or if we turn it into the Canadian dollar. So a lot of that comes with exchange rates, and then we use the exchange rates. There's a buy rate and a sell rate, and we'll talk about that. And it tells us how to figure out how much money we actually have, if we know how much American dollars we have, or how much something's going to cost us in a foreign currency if we're trying to go somewhere else. All right, if you remember, what we want to talk about today is we want to talk about using discounts. And I think the best way to talk about using discounts is to start out with an example and then see if we can break it out by type. So suppose that we want to buy something, and the thing that I want to buy is maybe I want to buy a lamp. And so that lamp is going to have some amount of money that I'm going to need to pay. And that amount of money, well, first of all, it's got a retail value. So the lamp retail value, I don't know how much a lamp costs, but let's say that the lamp's retail value is $23.99. And then you have a discount, so you have some type of coupon. So your coupon is you got a coupon for 10% off. We also have to deal with sales tax. And so if we're talking about sales tax, it depends on where we're at. And since we're in the state of Michigan, I'm going to use 6%. But another question to ask is whether or not that sales tax, some coupons allow the sales tax to happen after the discount. Some coupons allow the sales tax to happen before the discount, so on the entire $23.99. So if you take 10% off from the $23.99, you're going to have a smaller value. And if you pay sales tax on that after the coupon's applied, you're going to pay less sales tax. But it depends on the actual coupon. So for this example, let's say the sales tax is after the discount. And let's say that the sales tax is going to be for the state of Michigan, it'd be 6%. So let's run through an example using those values. So in this example, our cost is going to equal, well, we're going to take our original price, $23.99, the original retail, and we're going to subtract 10%. So if I want to get 10% of $23.99, I'm going to take 10% in decimal form, and I'm going to multiply it by $23.99. Okay, but then I have to add the sales tax. So this is what it is without the tax, but I have to pay tax on this. And I have to pay 6% on that. So I'm going to take 6% of whatever that happens to be. So I'm really just going to rewrite those numbers back down over here. Okay, and so what I need to know then now is I need to know a couple of things. First of all, I have to start computing this. So when I compute it, I need to know what 10% of $23.99 is. So I'm going to multiply the 0.10 times $23.99, and I get $23.99 minus $2.39.9 plus 6% of, I'm going to hold off for just a second. This number is going to go right there, but that number is about to be computed. It's about to be computed in that first parenthesis. So why don't I just finish it off? So if I take $23.99 minus 2.399, I get 21.591. Now, I am going to keep this around with the full decimal, even though it's $21.59.1, and there's no such thing as a 0.1 cent coin, but I'm about to add 6% to that, and the retail place that I'm paying this for is going to want that whole amount. So 0.06 times 21.591. Now, when I take 0.06 and multiply that, I get 1.29546. And I add that to 21.59. So that $21.59.1 is how much the lamp costs. The amount of tax that I have to pay is $1.29.546. So if I add those together, I get $23.21 if I round to the nearest cent. $23.21. Now, I did save some money, right? I saved $2.39, but the tax was about $1.30, and so all in all, it's just a little bit less than the retail value. So this coupon saved me a little bit more than the tax, which is not surprising because the tax is 6% and the actual percentage of the discount was 10%. So, okay, so I can see how I'm supposed to build this together. So then the question is, how do these formulas end up working? Well, when you're looking at the formulas, the big thing you have to recognize is that there's two things that could happen. The two things that could happen really is the coupon could be before the tax or after the tax. Now, if you have one coupon, once you decide whether or not the tax is before or after the coupon, so if the tax shows up before the coupon, then that means it's going to be on the entire retail value. If the tax shows up after the coupon, then it's going to be on just the discounted value. Once you figure out if the tax is before or after, then you've got some different types of coupons, right? So you've got the percent off. You got the dollar or the value, like $5 off, $10 off. You could have two coupons, percent before dollar, or you could have a dollar amount before the percentage. And the same thing could happen over here with the after. You could have a percent off, you could have a dollar amount off, you could have the percent before dollar amount off, or you could have the dollar before percent off. So we've got 8 different formulas that are going to tell us what we're supposed to have. Now, I am going to put together a sheet that shows us how all these formulas work, but I kind of want to show you the way that at least one or two of these formulas work. So let's have at it. All right, so in this first scenario, what I want to do is I want to work through the construction of a formula for one of these examples. So let's suppose that I want to look at the tax happening before. So it's going to be the tax before. For the discount. Okay, and let's say the tax is 8%. So we're not in the state of Michigan anymore. And then let's look at some types of discounts. So let's suppose that I take a $1 off discount. Now, this is a $1 off discount, so let's call this, since it's a discount, let's call it lowercase d. Now, if you go back to the previous slide, notice that we had a percent off. Let's get the values for these. Let's call that P, dollar off. Let's call that D. Tax, let's call that T. Retail value, let's call that R. And the cost, what you're actually going to pay, let's call that C. So when we're building these formulas, let's use those values. All right, so if I have a discount dollar off, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the retail value, I'm going to subtract my discount, but then I need to pay tax. So what I'm going to add to this is I'm going to add the tax, but the tax applies before the discount. So I'm going to take the tax rate in decimal form and multiply it by the retail value. And this is going to be my cost. Now, if I want to, what I can notice is that this is actually not half bad. So I gave an actual tax percentage, and we'll use the real example in just a second. So then the cost is equal to, notice if I rearrange this, it's R times 1 plus T and minus D. So I'm showing you how to construct this formula from scratch. And by doing that, it allows you to kind of see where the formula comes from. Now suppose that I throw in some extra information at the top. So suppose that I got the 8%. Suppose that I give you a discount value. Let's say it's $5. And suppose that I give you a retail value for whatever we're buying. So maybe it's $102. Then if I plug it in this formula, the cost is going to equal 102 times 1 plus 0.08 minus the discount of 5. So if I do that, if I plug it in, 1 plus 0.08, so 1.08 times 102, and then I add it to, or then I subtract 5, gives me 105.16. So this discount allowed it to cost me $105.16. Now, if I didn't have the discount, $102 multiplied by plus the tax would actually give me $110.16. So I did save $5. It's just that it didn't feel like that much of a savings. Okay, now I'd like to do another example, but I'm not going to do all 8 examples because I'm going to give you all 8 formulas that you can use. But I think it's nice that if you give yourself a chance, see if you can actually come up with some of those formulas and check them before you actually get the formula sheet. But this next example that I want to do an example where suppose that you're given something like, two coupons. So suppose that you have a retail value and you have 2 coupons. Let's say that the tax is after the discount, and you have $1 off, then you have percent off. So let's say the retail, so a scenario like this would be like the retail of the object is $100. And then you're going to get $20 off, and then you're going to get 10% off. You get to use both of these coupons. It happens, right? Because maybe you get $10 off your entire bill or something like that, but you only bought one thing. And you got 10% off, and then you had a $20 off coupon already or something like that. And then let's say tax is, let's say it's 6%. And again, we said that that's going to be after the discount. So when I'm trying to build the formula, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take the retail value, I'm going to subtract the $20, I'm going to subtract the discount, okay? Then I'm going to take 10% off of that. So I'm going to subtract 10% of that. But then I'm going to add the tax to that whole thing. So then I'm going to add the 6%, but the tax is after the discount. So it's the tax multiplied by the new price. So it's R minus D minus 0.10. Sorry, I should actually go with, I should not be giving you the 10% because it's supposed to be arbitrary. So it's actually supposed to be the percentage, so P times R minus D, and then P times R minus D. So that's what the formula is going to look like, and that's going to give you what the cost is equal to. Now, if I rearrange this formula, what happens is, what I notice is that I've got R showing up. This is 1R. P is going to multiply by the R, so that's PR right there. T is going to multiply by this R, so that's TR right there. And then I'm going to have P times T times R right here, so that's PTR. In other words, what I've got is I've got that C is going to equal R times 1 minus P plus T minus PT. So if I put all that stuff in there, that's going to take care of those first parts. Then I've got the D, the discount's actually going to be multiplied by a bunch of stuff. So that's going to be plus D times, I've got -1, I've got plus P, I've got minus T, and then I've got plus P. And so what happens then is that I can actually use this formula right here. I don't have to plug it into this top piece, and that will end up giving it to me. So now if I plug all my values in, then my retail value is going to be, so let's say we plug in these values. So my retail value is $100. My percent off is 10%, so it's 0.10. My tax is 6%, so it's 0.06. And then I have 0.06 or 0.10 times 0.06. And here I got my percent off is 0.10, my tax is 0.06, and my percent off is 0.10. So what I end up getting is I get, so I'm going to have 1, I'm going to do this in the parentheses, 1 minus 0.10 plus 0.06 minus 0.1 times 0.06. And then I multiply that by $100. So what I'm going to get here is I'm going to get this is equal to $95.40 plus, and then I have to do the whole thing over with a discount. So it's going to be -1 plus 0.10. And then I'm going to subtract 0.06. And I'm going to add 0.10. And then I'll multiply that by the discount. Now the discount is $20 off, so I'm going to plug 20 in right there. Now I get minus 17.20. Now I put those together. And I get $78.20. This is a pretty good discount on that $100. So it tells me exactly how much I'm going to spend. Now again, if you look in this module, there will be a file, and that file will have all the formulas that you need listed on it, so you can actually see what's going on.